Hello, welcome to Truth Runs Deep podcast. I'm Ken.
I'm
The mic's
Callie.
over. Why is the mic not on? Anyway, we're here to talk about all things Law and Order, SVU, the Mothership, fanfic writing, and more.
And organized crime, kind of.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
and I
so,
can get. I mean,
unfortunately,
I forgot to do a lot. I think what I'm gonna do is give y'all like a 5 minute, like a speed rush through the episode because I typically watch them in the morning. But I
yeah,
forgot to do it last week. But it was just to say there's a lot of blood. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
Peacock
the
said
good thing I was like, oh my god, this is a lot of blood for 9:30 in the morning.
this.
We
So
can
we do.
say the we can say the baby Becky and Eli's baby is finally here. Is here. He is
It's a
born 6 weeks
boy.
early. Yeah, he is born 6 weeks early, so he is in the NICU. But we do not know his name because he doesn't have a name yet. But he is here.
Yes. Um. So, unfortunately, we have to start with some sad news. You think as
Oh yeah,
fans,
Brad put that
used
in
to
notes,
this
but
by now.
we
Yeah,
remember
you
talking.
think as fans we'd be used to this by now, but no, we're not, because there's no reason for them to keep doing it. So, unfortunately, it came out the other day that this will be both Octavio and Juliana's last season.
Yeah,
Octavio has been here since season 23, and as we all are pretty much aware, this was Juliana's first and only season, as they've been doing quite often with the female replacements.
yep. So here we
Because
are.
they did it with Muncie, they did it with Shirlish, then now
Yeah,
they do it with Silva, which is depressing because
yeah,
they all deserve so much better, both actors and characters. And we can only do so much just to take care of them in our fic world, but
but
like
yeah. Pretty much that's what we're doing.
in real life, like it's fucking depressing
Yeah, but
and it's sad.
I just
Especially
yeah.
because I remember Juliana was like, all our interviews are like, I'm such a big fan of the show
Mm-hmm.
and I love Mariska. And now,
Yeah, but unfortunately, in the TV world, typically last hired is first fired.
yeah. And we don't know why Octavio's going either, but
Um,
like,
maybe I
uh,
mean he's been working on a lot of his own personal projects. Maybe he's decided he wants to do
I'm
his
gonna
own
hope
thing.
so, but also like the fact that the the Latino representation just went away. Like
Yeah.
that is
Hmm.
not good.
Hmm.
And I saw someone make a comment the other day that was kind of funny, and it said, "Who's gonna speak Spanish now that Olivia seems to have forgotten how to do it?"
I think people misunderstood that part in that episode because I think she did it on purpose to make I forgot what his name was to make him think that she didn't know what he was saying. But I think she did that on purpose because they're like this white lady. If she's
Oh,
a white lady comes here speaking Spanish, they're gonna be like, so
yeah,
I think
but
it was kind of
yes,
intentional that he because they have that like protect like to make it seem like he was secretive between him and it was there Velasco to make it seem like she couldn't understand what they were saying. But
yeah.
I'm pretty certain she
Well,
did know what they were saying, but she
unfortunately, they're
just didn't act
losing
like she.
Velasco and Silva, and
Yeah,
so once again, we'll be down to 4 or 5 people
SmackDown.
again.
Yeah,
As
too
far as
much.
we're aware, because we haven't heard anything
Yeah,
else. So as far as we're aware, we'll still have Mariska, Ice. They're not going anywhere.
yeah.
And then we have Kevin and Ame
I mean, yeah, and Peter, of course.
and Peter. Yes, that's 5. But that literally is
Yeah.
Olivia, the
But
sergeant,
unfortunately, a lot of shows have had to have budget cuts.
one
So
detective,
yeah, who's actually
and a captain who technically works at a detective, but should definitely be getting her own fucking position by this point.
yeah, but I guess she likes doing the work that she does. So
Like, I don't know how they think that, they can all
I
deal
know
with
these
one
grandma.
fucking detective, but, it's just sad.
Yeah.
I really,
Yeah, unfortunately, the TV industry as a whole has had a lot of budgeting
yeah,
issues.
like, I didn't think that that was going to be the news that I saw the other
No, it
day.
wasn't. But I would have
But that being said, we love you guys. So we love you,
yes.
Octavia. We love you, Juliana. You will always have
You
our support, and your characters will be safe in our fic land.
yes. So all the best wishes to you whenever you are doing. I know Juliana's gonna be in a movie this
Yeah, I
summer.
know. Juliana's a project. So that's something at the very least. But I like Silva. I was like getting used.
I like
I guess
exactly.
I
I
got
like
too comfortable with being able to see a female detective for more than one fucking season.
yeah,
Like,
you kind of be like,
don't
well,
keep doing that. Like, if just pick one, and keep her.
yeah, but unfortunately, I guess,
Because now
the
there's
TV
theories of
industry.
like, A, they'll either hire somebody else who they'll pay less, or somehow you get Kelly back. I don't know.
I don't think that's probably like I feel like she's happy doing whatever she's doing. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people misconstrue that like Kelly is not happy. But I feel like, I think she's kind of talked about like she had more time with her children and that makes her happy. So
Yeah. And it has not come out of whether or not this is a creative decision, financial decision, or both.
yeah.
Either way, we love them both so much. We have a few more episodes with them.
Yeah, two. So we have
And
today and next week.
wait, seriously, that's it?
Yeah, today and next week.
Oh, ouch. I thought we had like 3 more. Fuck.
Good more.
No.
Mm.
Wait, does that mean we get finale promos this week?
Today.
Guys, I take back all of my freaking calm comments. I just hope they're okay.
We kind of think, I think our speculation we were talking about, I think Velasco was offered a job earlier this season with his neighborhood, like,
And that I would accept.
yeah, because I thought that would make him happy, making sure his neighborhood kids do not end up in a gang and fall into whatever his
Yeah.
childhood experience, and not that experience because his childhood was cool.
And
Unless,
one of our friends had a theory that Silva is
like,
gonna
so good,
go to
get a hummus, the two
the
sevens homicide. We'll
which
see. Who knows?
one. But yeah, so that's that for now. I guess we'll get to the um I guess we'll get to the actual show.
Yeah, we gotta keep it rolling. Unfortunately, we have things we have to do. The picture just makes me giggle. I don't know why that was so funny, but it
You
was.
would be the kind of person to be like, please don't make me do this.
I don't
I
know.
can't keep
It
the
was
fucking
like there's a scene. I guess I need to explain what we're laughing at. There's a scene towards the end of the episode where Randall's trying to find out what Bernie's been up to on her phone. Obviously, in the episode, I think the last episode we recorded, we talked about this. And like, so he asked Vargas, can like he help him? And he's like, but Bernie walks in on him. He's like, "What are you?" She's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm talking to my friend Kyle. Say hi to Kyle." And then he's like, "Your favorite show is about to come on." And she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, right." So she walks away. Then he's like,
Oh,
then Vargas is like, "So you need to put her phone on the cloud." He's like, "What?" And then he's like, "Plug it into the USB." And he's like, "Oh, okay, okay." So he plugs
love
it into the
it.
USB. And then he
Randall's
kind of
clueless.
explained, yeah. And then he's like, so like he found all the numbers that like the phone's been calling, and they're all in like the Amsterdam area. And he's like, so you think he's like, yeah, obviously, they think this is Joe Jr. And then like, he's like, so you think you can find him? And then Vargas is like, seriously?
And then he was like, don't tell Elliot. And then Vargas
Yeah.
is like,
And then you want me to keep secrets? You know how we all
yeah,
know Vargas is
he'll
a bit of a
kill me.
yapper, and
You want me to keep
yeah,
a secret from him? He'll kill me.
exactly. Vargas is a little scared. Like, don't do that to him. He's just you don't do that to him. He's not going to handle this well. And Elliot's definitely gonna be really mad if you didn't tell him either.
Yeah.
Because apparently Elliot doesn't know that like Randall talks to Elliot's coworkers frequently.
That's so funny though. It's yeah.
He talks
So
to Ayana, he talks to Vargas,
literally,
you
if
know.
Ellie finds out about this, Vargas is gonna have to freaking hide behind Ayana.
I know, like, I'm scared. Exactly. He's not a detective. He's just this guy that works here. He's not. He's like, you
We don't
know,
even know what his like actual title is. He's just
he has a PhD or something. Does he? He's not a
there
doctor.
as like a
He does.
consultant.
Yeah, but he never left. So, but he did pull out some cool tech today with some stuff. But anyway, sorry. But
Anyway,
that
yeah.
was a lot
So
of blood in that
unfortunately,
episode. So
we're losing two
be
people.
cautious. If you go watch OC, please be cautious of the blood warning and gore warning. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Yes, unfortunately, we're losing two cast members, but they will be safe in our stories.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, let's get to these episodes.
Yeah,
Because
because
I
the
forgetting
penultimate.
it's
Never mind.
already
That's
Thursday. I was
yeah.
busy, guys. I had work. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, and we're already on a rush today too. 'Cause I have the doctor's appointment, so we're gonna try to get through this. Because these don't take too long, I don't think. The second one, SVU might have a little bit of a warning here. We'll give an explicit warning about what happens about
Yeah.
SVU when we get there. I almost had forgotten about it until like I remember the title was like, oh yeah. Anyway, so this one is called 2420. So we're almost at the end here. It's Sins of the Father. Because this guy walks in this auto shop and he's like complaining about the work that they did. He said he's gonna basically tell immigration they did a bad job. He's
And it's
basically
like,
because
what
like
I
they were
did.
he's just screaming at these people and the manager, I guess you can say he's the manager, is like, I'm sorry about that, blah blah blah. And then this other guy who works there, his name is Sun Jin. He's Chinese, but they're not supposed to say that, but we know he's Asian at the moment. And he's like, "Sir, you just maybe put bad gas in your car. When you buy cheap gas, sometimes there's too much water in it and it makes your car steam, stuff like that. You probably just put bad gas in your car." And then the
And
guy is all mad, but he walks away, all mad. And then next thing we know that he gets shot in the head,
he's dead.
point blank. He point blank shot in the head.
Very
Yep.
much so. He's dead.
You know how they go on
Um,
this show. People just be dead.
and we find out his nickname is Sunny, so that's
Yeah.
I
We have
have to
another
keep
son.
reminding myself this the other one.
Yeah, it's a lot of. He's Sunny with the U. I don't know. There's no subtitles, but I was spelling it with the U just for my
Yeah,
own
I figured
clarification.
because his name is SUN, so
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
We find out that through investigating and stuff that he needed money to take care of his sick sister. And his father went back to China because he was part of a money club. And
Yeah.
that was pretty much like a very common like Asian thing is mahjong.
Yeah. So they were basically it
It's a
was like a.
game, and if you're really good at it, like they will turn it into like playing for money.
It was kind of yeah. Essentially, it's kind of they made kind of essentially like a gambling ring related to mahjong, which is illegal. Apparently, it's illegal. That's why they're keeping it very hush hush.
Yeah. We found out that Sonny had lost his job and his student grad housing because he was like in school for like chemistry or something,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. And the garage was basically his way to make ends meet because he didn't
And there was
have anything else. And we find out that he went to Hudson because
nothing ever good happened to Hudson. So,
yeah. And Hudson accused him of being a spy. Great.
Which is like interesting there, but I didn't know if we were still doing that these days, but apparently we are.
Yeah. And one of the doctors there was like, they think it was a lie because like he was doing nothing but like good work. So he wasn't sure why they were saying he's a
He was
spy.
kind of like studying diseases and such, making sure you don't begin, making sure we don't have another pandemic in the world. Good work.
Then they find a student who got kicked out first. And so they think he's the first suspect of who possibly did this to Sonny, especially because he made up the rumor that Sonny was a spy because Sonny was smarter than him.
What a loser behavior.
And he wanted to make sure that things were okay that night, but he said he wasn't alone and there was a man with a gun. But
Exactly. Like,
also,
did you think this was gonna go out well? You just lied on somebody. Seriously,
he literally said, "Hey, he's a spy."
these are some serious accusations.
But
Like really,
unfortunately, with the stigma in the country, there's always going
these
to be
days that
somebody to believe him.
yeah, unfortunately,
They then find that the man that was like near him, his name was Ernesto Ruiz, and he is the son of a illicit substance dealer.
yeah.
And they're keeping eyes on him because he can make an illicit substance that starts with the letter M.
It's not that hard. It's
But
very
they're
accurate and
confused because they
surprisingly
go to
easy to
find
make this
him
up.
and he's a teacher and his students love him and he seems like a really good guy, but then his car is at the scene. So it's
Yeah.
like,
So they're like,
what up? So they bring him in to talk. And then we get the first look of Nolan and Sam, and I was like, I think they're matching. Just say
I
you're
can't remember what
dating
I'm talking
already.
about.
Just make it
I can't
happen.
remember what I'm talking.
Just make it happen, guys. You're matching. You're one step close. Barson did it. You guys can do it
Yeah, a
too.
couple times. Yeah.
And then they showed like the precinct, and it said that someone had a pride flag on their desk, and I think it was Violet's desk.
Yeah.
They then
I think
investigate
we've talked about it before. But yeah.
Ernesto's car, and there was blood in the car, and the DNA matches the uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And that he
And they find
apparently got a weapon in a club.
yeah, the same weapon used in the shooting is used
Yes.
at the
So they have to go to the club, and we get a chase scene up the stairs that does
yeah.
not last long because
They got extra cops today. It's not just
actually
them this
cops and
time.
Frank Jalen slams him into the railing. So they're
Yeah, being chased too long today. Just for a moment.
Omar claims he lost his jacket because there was a jacket that was also found in the car, and he's
It was
like, I
very
asked it.
distinct.
It had like a because the guy mentioned there was somebody here with a green, very like black jacket with a very distinct green symbol on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Then they start looking through his text, and there was this text that said Sonny didn't want to cook the F
Yeah.
substance anymore, so he had to go. And now they're like, okay, so his car was there, but Ernesto wasn't. And so they're like, is this guy the real suspect? Or did one of his family members take his car and go do this?
Yeah.
Then we get Nolan and
They're
Sam
talking to
talking
Baxter.
about Baxter, about the case, and it's pretty much like as much as I like don't as much as we know that this guy is a good man, like he's pretty much all we got at this point, so we have to go figure it out.
Yeah.
And then we get Nolan and Sam talking about it, and Sam seems to not want to continue like pushing anything on Ernesto. And Nolan isn't quite sure why. Sam goes into details that basically says in her family, she was the project. She was the first one to go, like, basically went to college, got a degree, got a fancy job, and and her whole family is pretty much like hanging on that.
Yeah. She kind of talks about it as the like immigrant experience. So like,
and then Nolan's like, well, that's the beauty of the American immigrant experience, and I'd be like, dude, shush, just
I know
for a
exactly.
moment.
And like, your white man privilege is showing for a second. She wasn't finished.
Dude, we love you, but shush.
Exactly. Then she's like, "Well, you see, you don't make a lot of money selling."
He's like, do you want to know how my father paid for my law school? And he's like, well, didn't your father want to run a Lebanese
Lebanese
restaurant,
restaurant.
which is the
He's like,
first. We finally get some back lore on that. And Sam pretty much goes, yeah, but Baba
yeah, how
Ganoush
much?
can only pay for so much.
And how much? Like, you know how much it would take to pay for college? And he's like, a lot. We're like,
And the
well,
restaurant didn't do so great. But a
no.
sports book that my father ran out the back door did.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, her college education was paid for by sports gambling. Because
Nothing to do
that's
about it now.
all her parents get. That's literally what her father could do to get his daughter through college.
Yeah.
And so Sam is like, yeah, so immigrant stories are beautiful, but they're also complicated too.
Yeah.
And then you see Nolan like
It was like, oh.
processing it. It's like, yeah, man. You and Sam grew up so fucking differently.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
even
He's
funny.
prestigious, rich family. Well,
He
I
just
think I don't
okay,
necessarily say
but
rich per se, but he's this very prestigious, good, high education, private
I
school
feel like he's
education kind of boy.
borderline rich.
Yeah, and he's got this prestige. This prestige he's talked about. Like he went to like a private school and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Private school
obviously,
versus Sam who public school, family restaurant,
yeah,
sports gambling, college education.
yep.
So then they get some more investigating, and the cousin is found dead in prison.
Yeah.
And they find a video of someone literally killing him with a shiv made out of a toothbrush.
Yeah,
And they think it's a hit because he was gonna say like who actually sent him to do the deed, but now he can't because he's dead.
Yep.
We then find out that the guy's daughter visited him. The guy, the one who shivved him, his daughter visited him before the murder, and she got $5,000 from it. And it's like, okay, so she basically never talked to her dad until now. And she
they were like
money to
they
basically
make a little bit of a joke out of it. They're walking with her and she's like, they're like, you know how much money you had in your bank account? $83. And then what you have in your bank account now? 5,000.
5,083. They're pretty much like the girl was given $5,000 to go to the prison to tell her dad to put out a hit on this man. No one goes, so he's not a nice man. Lol. That's the best way you can describe it.
Exactly. He's not a nice man.
They do find him. There is, unfortunately, at first when they find him, there is a shootout. And it's not looking so pretty for Shaw and Riley, and they're calling for backup. And there's lots of bullets flying, and Shaw eventually gets him. But he has to him, and so they're like, "Great, now that goes our lead."
Yeah, that's gone.
But they track.
But it was a lot. This kind of has like a newsy. Like this was a lot of bullets.
Yeah, they track him, his location shit down, and he was living in these freight trailer things.
Yeah, those really big shipping containers that you see on on boats. These those really big.
The river, and in one of them is a little setup of a house with a couch and a tiny living room and whatnot, and in the other one is the lab.
Yep, for making this illicit substance.
And then the third one is filled. Wait, no, and the second one also has giant.
The random fact. Well, the Vatican has decided the Pope, but they haven't announced who it is yet. So
okay, cool.
The white smoke has come through.
Hooray!
The Vatican has chosen a Pope today.
A new Pope. I'm not Catholic.
We don't have
there's a new Pope.
Yeah, neither one of us. But it is a very fascinating thing to look at.
They literally. The funny thing is, some of them had never done it before. So they literally said that they watched Conclave to figure
Yeah.
out what they were supposed to do,
Yeah,
which
because
I
you're a
find
pope until you die.
hilarious.
Yeah, because you're literally a pope until you die. So like these people, some of these like from the day you're chosen to the day you die, you are the pope. So like a whole generation of people have come through again,
That's
possibly. And you're
so
like
funny though.
Conclave. I'm gonna watch Conclave. I haven't done it yet. I was gonna watch the movie. I haven't done it yet. One day I'll watch it.
Everyone said it was good. So anyway, yeah.
Or
Blair,
sorry, we got distracted
and then
with the
they
lab.
find a boat that's like full of weights, like
Yeah.
giant ass weights, like probably as big as like a really big cylinder. Um, and they're like, "Oh, great! Now we have to figure out why the weights are
Why
in
the
this boat." So they
yeah.
call in the crime lab, and after a long night of investigating, they find 13 bodies in the water that were drowned with the weights. And Baxter is there and he's literally looking. He's like, "Dear God."
Yeah, there's a lot of bodies. But unfortunately there's not a lot of blood, so it's better than OC with the blood. Okay, I'm not gonna let that go. I'm not gonna let the blood go because I've seen a lot of blood today, and I did not want to see that much blood today.
Um, yeah. So they have got 6 of the bodies investigated, and it was pretty much like homeless people and sex
Yeah,
workers.
people who were using typically people. Well, not just making that assumption about that, but like the bodies tend to be people who are using this said substance.
Yeah, and it was basically people who could disappear and no one would
Yeah,
care.
which is really really sad. But you know that they were using these people to test Chris.
Uh,
Um,
um, yeah, they were basically using these 13 people as guinea pigs to test their substance, and if it didn't work and they overdosed, oh well,
sure.
okay, we're gonna go drown you in the river.
Yeah, make your body disappear.
Um, yeah. So then we get Nolan and Sam and Baxter talking about the case again, and
This was
Baxter's
unusually
reading off
funny.
text that one of the guys had sent to um the thing to
Mm,
Ernesto, I think.
mm, mhm.
Ernesto's dad. There you go. I couldn't remember. And it's basically along the lines of gotta go bitch slap this person.
He, yeah, there's no other like Baxter just doesn't read the words in between because obviously they were so he says they're so explicit that he was like those are explicit words.
He like literally was reading it, said bitch slap so nonchalantly, and then
He
saw
said it
the other
multiple
word and
times.
he's like, person. I can't
Yeah,
say I
I
can't
can't
say
say that
the word that's actually here.
exactly. We're like, fuck.
But if you asked me if I ever thought I would hear Tony Goldwyn say bitch slap, no,
No,
I did not.
Eh,
It was so funny.
no, and then he says it again.
Yeah, he says it twice and he's like person. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah,
So then they go again. They get into again that Ernesto's car was at the scene where Sonny was found dead.
mhm.
That is literally all we got. We don't know if anybody else was there. We just got the car. We don't know if the cousin was like ordered to take the car to go do the deed.
Yeah,
Um, and Sam was pretty much like, "Are we really okay with Ernesto paying for his father's sins?"
yeah. That was kind of the
And
whole point of the episode of like, are we okay with that? Because all we have is him in this car.
like Baxter and Nolan are pretty much like, unless we can
Prove otherwise, that's all we got.
convince
And
him
she's like,
to help us, no, that's all we got. So all of them go down to the school. Sam, Shaw, Riley,
everybody.
and Price.
Yeah.
Um, And they basically like bring Ernesto into like this empty room, and it's like, yeah, we gotta tell you
Because of a little like chapel in the school. I guess it's some kind of Christian school because it's a chapel, but like,
Sam and Oler standing there and looking all official, and he's like, we gotta talk about your dad. And Nolan pretty much goes on that your dad is being charged for murder.
yep.
And he's like, murder? And Nolan's like, you heard me.
And they're about to put this in.
And the guy's
So
like, no, like, my dad's not perfect, but he's not a murderer. And Nolan goes,
like seriously,
are you really that naive or delusional?
like
He knows that
like
it's
people
like,
who are doing organized crime are not just nice people, okay?
yeah,
Like
your dad is an illicit substance lord.
literally organized crime, okay? Those
I
people
was
are
like
typically
waiting for
not.
Sam to say something, but she didn't. And
Just because
Nolan
she has the red
goes,
pantsuit on, y'all. Sam has
yes.
the red pantsuit.
So
The pictures I wrote on my other monitor. That's why I remember that she on.
he yeah. So then Nolan continues and he's like, he used them to test F, and if they died, so what? He threw them away like trash.
Literally.
And they're pretty much like the company that the dad owns, Vex Corp, was pretty much the company that manufactured these illicit substances. And so they kind of gave him an ultimatum. Help us
You get us some evidence.
the evidence on your dad, or you're going to prison for this.
So he makes a decision.
Yeah, so there's
It's a
like a
very
family
intense
party. So
moment.
he's
It's a
like,
little
he makes a decision. There's this family party that's going on. And he goes, his mom is excited to see him. He talks to his dad.
yeah,
His dad is outside grilling. And he's like, okay, I'm
like
going to
in
run to the
the
bathroom.
bathroom.
And he locks the bathroom and he heads upstairs to his dad's office.
I don't think he locked the bathroom. That was the problem. He closed the door but didn't lock the bathroom. So
yeah, I know. I don't know
that's how
why
you
he
got
didn't do
busted.
that.
That's how you got busted because
Probably wouldn't have been the better option to lock it.
like you're going. If you got all these people in your house, you definitely lock the door when you go. Okay,
like there's a way you can lock the door and then still
close it
close
in.
it.
You may have to go get the key later, but that's okay. Anyway.
So like he's looking through his dad's stuff as the dad is looking for him, and
He's a little camera. They put a little
the
camera
camera.
on him, so
So like the guys are
they need
like
to see
looking and seeing what he's
and
looking
like
at,
hurry.
and he finally finds something that like pins it to it. It was like a check or something.
A lot of stuff was in there. A lot.
And his dad
There's the
like says
checks. There's these
something, and
little
he
these
immediately,
little like forms that say Vex Corp, but then they were doing other
and
stuff.
then he like turns around, and he like shoves it in his pocket, and
It's very intense. This is the last like 5 minutes of the show too.
well,
It's
you
very
can also
intense.
like you see the son going, no, no, no. Like
Yeah,
he's realizing, shit, my dad actually
yeah,
did this.
yeah,
And then the dad shows up and it's like, oh, did you find what you were looking for? And like he tries to play it off at first, but then
but
eventually he's
he's
like,
getting too nervous. He's messing
Dad,
it up.
Ted, they're after you. What did you do? And then the dad is like, what have you done, my stupid little boy? And he like kisses him on the cheek and it's like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And then he literally starts to attack his son.
Yeah.
Which is when the cops break in and the mom
Mm-hmm.
is breaking out.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad is arrested and he's pretty much like, how could you do this to me? You're my son. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And Ernesto is like realizing how horrible of a person his dad literally is because his dad could have killed him
Yeah. He was. He was like, you
to
don't
shut
care.
him up. So
Family means nothing in this organized crime.
yeah,
People be
literally.
doing all kinds of
So
stuff. It don't
then
matter.
we get the end,
Ernesto comes into the precinct. Yeah, he's
and
in the
they're like,
precinct because he was going witness
um,
protection.
so here's we can put you into witness protection. And Nolan like humorously like chuckles, but it's like, dude, what do you no. Like this isn't
Yeah, this
even awkward.
yeah,
This isn't funny.
and then
Um they're also matching again. Um
yep,
anyway, Sam is pretty much like, look, you'll get a new identity, a new address,
you're everything. You're
a new
everything.
everything. The only um stipulation is you can never contact your family and never go home.
Yeah, the rules of the witness protection.
Which kind of sucks because everybody at his school loved him, but like
Yeah, you can't go back to that ever again.
you can't go back. He's
Well, you
gonna,
can't. And when the threat has been neutralized, they tend to let they might let you go back.
yeah.
It kind of just depends.
And he's like,
They might.
okay, I understand. I'll do it. I just want to see my mom before I go. Is she here? And Sam has to break the news to him that his mom isn't coming.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole family is on the dad's side.
Yeah, I mean, you're making a lot of money. They're all like, well, your son's a
And
snitch now.
that was it.
Yeah. He's in.
I give this one 3 stars.
Yeah. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. The one tonight, though, I'm excited about. Because it's sports related.
It is. It's called
It literally
Tough
has a
Love.
sports newscaster in the fucking episode.
Yeah. It's called Tough Love. It has basketball. So if you like basketball,
Yes.
this
I
is
am kind of
what
contemplating my basketball right now because Celtics are down 2 games to the fucking Knicks, but uh, anyway,
Alabama's
yeah.
not as big on basketball, so I'm just kind of
What's
looking like
what's the
but it's called
summary? I don't remember.
with guest star Stephen A. Smith.
Yes, love him.
A tough love sports agent is found stabbed to death, leaving the squad with trails, suspects who wanted him gone. Despite a wealth of evidence, Price and Maroon worry that a lack of motive will tank their case.
So that'll be interesting.
Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Let me watch it real quick.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, the sports. Apparently this is like a well-known guy, so like
Yeah, ask anybody who watches like Sports Center basketball. They're gonna know who Stephen A. Smith is. He's like huge.
yes. Mm. So, mm. So SVU. Before we talk about SVU, you will give a warning to child abuse. I think that's
Major.
the major child
Um,
abuse is involved.
yeah.
Partially feel CSAM content is mentioned in this episode.
It goes
A lot
on
of
to
bad things to children. So
yeah. One more thing about the Law and Order thing. Like my dad and I were both watching the promo, and they're like, "Hey, what is he doing here?"
yes,
Like
so
he's
it'll
very
be
known in the sports community.
yes. I mean,
Okay.
I'm saying yes, like I know what I'm talking about, but
Well, you're gonna know eventually if you end up listening to me. Anyway, this episode, trigger warning for major shit.
yeah, a lot of child abuse, CSAM content is mentioned.
Um,
A lot of
yeah.
bad stuff.
Um, so the episode is called Shock Collar.
Literally, don't forget that. This is very important.
Set a 9 for later. And I almost forgot, but yes, Amanda was in this episode.
Yes, we
Yay!
got to see Kelly today.
We love that.
So, and I think it was done at a really good, very. Oh no. Oh, oh no! I think Callie lost connection. Oh no. We were yapping until we weren't. There we go. I think you lost connection or something.
Computer literally fell off my bed and closed.
And I was like, and they were like, "Whoa, you was on, but now you're back." But I think this episode does a really good
Wait, am
job
I
with
still recording?
Kelly in this.
Does it say we're still
Yes,
recording?
It's still recording. It just kicked you out, and then it joined you back in when.
Okay, I was like, oh my god, please tell me I
Nope,
didn't just screw up the entire
nope,
thing.
no, we're good. It's still recording.
Okay, anyway, Kelly, yes.
Yes. So it's called Shock. Once again, we said it was called Shock Collar. Blah blah blah
Yeah, it starts off
blah.
with this little girl in the back of a car with her mom who's doing like DoorDash deliveries, food deliveries. And she's like, I want to go home. She doesn't feel good.
Yeah,
And the mom, her name is Katie,
yeah,
and
yeah. She's like,
she
it's gotta do
is like, I know, we just got to do one more and then we'll take you to the hospital. So she goes up to the guy's um
little door, you know,
apartment,
the
literally,
door.
stupid word. Um, and is delivering his food, and all the while she's like keeps looking back to make sure
Next streaming.
her
Okay,
daughter
still there
and the car.
she isn't like parked. The car is kind of in the middle of the street in between the like apartments. Obviously, I think there's more houses across the street, and then there's like their cars are parked on the street, and then the cars are parked on the street on that side of the street. So her car's like in the middle.
Yeah. And then the guy's like, okay, let me go get you a tip. So he goes back to get it. As he comes back, he sees the car moving.
Drive off.
He's like, I think somebody just took your car. And the mom is freaking out because, oh my god, my daughter was in the back. And
Yeah,
we get the probably if I had to, so both Tessa's screams this
and
season
that one.
and this woman's screams this season. Holy shit. This woman
Yeah.
was screaming for her life, screaming her daughter's name, Haley, hoping anybody was going to be able to, like, stop, find her. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get the scene that we had all knew was coming that was filming a few weeks
Yeah.
ago
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Amanda
And they
and
posted this clip early. Also, it's earlier in the day. I have to check to see the clip they gave us today, but we'll see.
Amanda and Olivia walking their kids to school. And Amanda goes, "Look at us walking our kids to school." And Olivia goes, "Just like a couple of regular moms."
Yeah, you know, they
It's
don't get to
so
do
cute.
that, you know. Exactly.
And then Amanda was thanking Olivia for helping Jesse and Billy get into like this music program at the school. And
Um,
Olivia's like, "Well, if they're any bit as talented as their mom." And I was like,
yeah,
"Aw, cute."
very sweet.
And then we see Jessie holding her instrument. Again, we don't know what it is, but she's like, "Mom, my case is heavy."
And we're like, man,
And Noah's like, "Okay, I got it." And then
like what a
only
kid.
Billy's line is, "Noah's carrying it." And it's like,
It's very,
thank you for the astute observation.
I know, but it's very cute because it's her,
They're
so
so fucking cute. I can't.
because it's her, it's very cute. Okay, we
And I was like, "Oh, yep, Amanda plays guitar too." And so then as as Amanda is walking the kids over to line up by the building, Olivia gets a phone call.
yeah,
And oh, hold on, I found the picture.
it's
Look
perfect.
at how
Love it.
cute they are. So cute.
Yeah, yes.
Um, yeah, so Olivia gets a phone call about the
The new
kidnapping.
chief is calling, whoever this chief is, but she's like, the chief
We
is
don't
calling.
know. Sorry, I feel like it should be courageous saying.
It should be, but it's not.
Anyway, so there's that, and then Olivia is um Amanda's like saying goodbye to her girls, and it's super
Yeah,
cute. And Olivia's like, "We gotta go. We gotta
yeah, we
case."
do.
And Olivia's like, "Oh yeah, I also have Sergeant Rollins from intelligence with me.
Yeah, they're like,
Do
she
you
dumb
want
too.
me to bring her?" They're like, "Sure." Um, so they go to the scene, and they got Velasco talking to the guy who ordered the food, and is basically like, Katie drops off my food every single day. She had her daughter in the car, and then all of a sudden, the car was taken.
Yeah.
Then we get Olivia and Amanda taking the mom back to the precinct with them, and Amanda is wearing this beautiful, pretty patterned white sweater, but everyone was like, stop wearing white, because apparently bad things happen to Amanda when she wears white.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
But it looks so pretty on her. I couldn't like, oh god, Kelly looked so pretty. So they talked to the mom, and the mom was like, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. So she calls the Haley's dad to see if he has her. No answer. So they have to find
You got found, a different way.
They did say that there was a witness there who was with her holding her dog, that said there was a white van that was following the truck, the car with Haley in it. So they get footage of the white van following the car, and they find out that the driver was a woman.
Yeah. This is very important for later, so don't forget. Make sure y'all hold that in your thoughts because it matters later.
So they go to find the car and the white van, and the car was burned up and empty.
Yep. At first, they just see the car burn up, and they check the trunk, and it's empty. Because first they were like, "Oh dear God!" And then
like, please, God, don't let her be in there. She's not in there. She's not.
Yeah.
Just so you all know, she's not. Yeah. We're not doing that for a second week in a row.
No more.
And so then we get Silva talking to Olivia, and she's like, we haven't been able to find the dad. We know he lives in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
They then show footage of the dad getting into the white van. At least I thought.
Yeah. Oh, well, he has a van. He has a van, but not for that purpose.
They do more investigation, and they find out the accelerant that started the fire was nail polish remover. So they're like, did you or Haley ever get your nails done? And she's like, no, I did not have time. I don't know where she would get nail polish remover.
Yeah. It's highly flammable, so that's why you have to be really careful with it.
And then we get Amanda in this pretty burnt orange sweater and cute little dangly earrings.
They really did have Kelly looking good today. Like,
yes, they give Kelly all the good looks today. All the good looks. Then we get the reason why I got confused earlier was the dad finally gets in contact.
Okay, bro.
The dad has a van, which is why he was in a van. Yeah. It's not the same van, but
same van. But he has a van, but that's the reason why he has a van. Like, because he has a van. He's van.
Then they get a little thing of like Amanda talking to her partner, like trying to get Corrigan, trying to get some more information they can use. And then we get this cute little thing of them being like, Captain, Sergeant. Oh, so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I love when they call each other by their title. It's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Then the dad actually shows up, and he's like,
bro, where you been? Like,
he was like on tour or doing band shit. Either way,
yeah,
he doesn't have his kid, but he's like, you need to find my kid.
Yeah.
And then we finally, because everyone was like so worried about it. Then we get Sunny showing.
I think people were asking for too much from this. Okay.
Yay! Release.
I mean, it was great to see them. Yes, but the thing I have about people on the timelines, they were asking a little too much for this episode. Like, they seem to forget that any like romance is B plot, even C plot. Like, so I was like, I wasn't expecting it.
But it was nice that we had them in the same room.
It was nice they were in the same room. It was nice they were in the same room, but I wasn't expecting anything more.
So Then, after, because they've all been looking through the dark web to see if she was anywhere, because unfortunately, if a kid is kidnapped, that's kind of the first
thing people are
thing
usually making really,
people go
really
to.
bad. Yeah.
And so Curry finally gets a hit on a website, and
I have the name of it somewhere. It's
it's called
called,
Missy Mayhem.
yeah, which is very
And
something. I don't
it
know. I feel
starts,
very
and there's
disturbed by
this
all of this.
woman who was brushing Haley's hair, but she's doing it like
Really hard.
really hard, like on purpose.
Yeah.
And then after that, like Haley's like, I want to
I
go
just
home.
realized something. I think I
Yeah,
just realized something. I
what?
think she maybe was using a dog brush.
Oh fuck!
I think
No,
it just came to my mind when I like put all the pieces back together. I was like, wait a second, dude.
that will make sense in like 30 seconds. Because the next thing
Yeah,
that this woman does, and this is where the trigger warning comes in.
yeah. Sorry. So if you're disturbed, you might want to take a little break, C's,
He
from this
put
episode because there's a lot of
an actual shock collar
yes.
on Haley and shocks her.
Well, she initially said something like, "You're gonna behave, or I'm gonna shock you," and Haley's like, "I just want to go home," and then she knocks her. It's like y'all
And
see that
literally, you
she's
got
screaming.
the whole entire squad watching this happen to this
Yeah,
little girl. And
literally, it's like,
there were people that were like,
is
did
this
they
really
have to show
necessary?
it? Or didn't they have just like played the sound? And I'm like, yeah,
But I
that
feel,
was
I mean, yes, but I also think
brutal.
about it in a sense that like sometimes I think people do need to see things to understand because unfortunately this happens to real children probably on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I think some people truly won't ever get it until they like, this is fictional. It does happen to real children, and I think that sometimes you need to see it to get the impact.
Yeah. So they're all sitting there shocked. Sonny especially. Um,
Yeah, because he's got little girls of his own, and it's
yeah,
like
like yeah, like he's already had to deal with shit with his kids this season. Like seeing that
exactly
is like oof.
not good for him. Like,
And then Velasco's like this is torture. Control over about torture and control. And Amanda calls it delegated sadism.
I know, I'm like, you're using these big words. I mean, I know what these words mean, but like,
Right.
yeah.
Which basically is all these
Here, people
people
are
like
watching for their enjoyment.
yeah, people like this sadistic crazy shit and they don't have access to do it to somebody, so they pay somebody else to do it to somebody.
Yeah,
And it
but like, this is a
happens
child.
to be a fucking kid.
Exactly. Like, you should be locked up.
Um,
You,
yeah. And it's
if
like,
you're
what?
looking at this, you should be locked
Literally,
up
what
for
the
longer.
hell? Like that was I think that's when they went to commercial, which is good because holy
You needed
shit.
a little break for your
We
brain because you're
needed a
like,
break. Um, so they come back and they do some more investigation and they think that she's thankfully not far. She's 2 hours away from Manhattan.
yeah,
Um, and they're like, it's not sexual. They think.
they think.
They think. They hope. Um, and then we get Amanda in this pretty powder blue jacket, which is like my favorite
Yes,
thing she's worn.
everything. The
Yes.
clothes was really,
Amanda's
everybody
clothes.
was looking extra good
Now
there.
pair the blue jacket with the white sweater, and I will be a happy
And because
camper.
it was paired with the orange sweater in the episode. She is wearing orange
Yes,
sweater.
which wasn't bad,
And they
but
don't
like
have
no,
that.
you need to put the blue with the white, and it's beautiful,
Yeah,
perfect. Okay.
they didn't put that in. That picture's not up there. But
So we then
there's a
find out
couple more pictures I didn't notice the first time, but not that.
that this site has been up for 2 years,
Exactly. Like,
and that most of the people use VPN, except
yeah.
some customers, so they
If you
can't.
don't, I mean, if you don't know what a VPN is, a virtual private network. So what it does is you can basically make your IP address from any country in the world you want it to be.
So people don't know
Um,
it's you.
they don't know where you are. they can find out that you're using a VPN, but not where the VPN is, unless
Yeah.
they're like very, very good at tech. The average person cannot go find out where you are based on a VPN. I mean, there's good
So
reasons why you have a VPN. Like, you're gonna watch the TV in a different country. Sure, that's a good reason to use a VPN. But
this no.
bad reasons VPN exists.
So then they get then they decide, okay, we're gonna go after the subscribers to get more information. So they bring in
Yeah,
like a handful of them,
yeah.
and we
They got
get
them there because they were too dumb to not use VPNs. They knew exactly where they were.
for the ones who did not.
They knew exactly where to find them.
And then
All
for the
right.
first time this season, we get an extremely angry Curry. Like, holy shit, it was good.
Exactly.
And
She's
Velasco was
not
there
taking it.
too. And then she was basically like, actually no.
I forgot to get.
Velasco
Joe,
said,
this is Velasco's line. It's the first one. I forgot to put names. We do put people
Velasco
on with no
said
names to be like, hope we remember.
she was in pain. You get off on that?
I'm like,
And then Velasco goes, you watched a child get tortured. That's facilitation of assault.
there's a whole
She's
bunch of other charters that goes
a
on along with
fool.
this because you're just
Yeah.
as guilty by looking at it, pretty much.
Like, pretty much the guys were like, oh, I was just watching. Why are you fucking watching a
No,
child get tortured?
exactly. That's disturbing. No.
We then have another client that comes in, and he's extreme, like the creepiest of them all.
He's definitely
He's
creepy.
been
They're all
watching
creepy, but
this
he's different.
for years, and he's like,
Yeah.
no, there was
I
another
screen
girl.
record. I've been screen recording and I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, there was another girl who's screen recording, and there's another girl before Haley. Like, great. So then another video pops up.
He brings the video that he had because
Yeah.
then he gets scared.
And it's the girl, the other girl, being told to get into a dog bed.
He is.
And when she didn't want to do that, no, wait, no, hold on. Nope, hold on. I'm missing it. I mixed it up. The video that he showed was the other girl, kind of just sitting there, blank faced. And the woman is like, "Here's a treat."
Yeah,
Here,
she's clicking. She's clicking with her teeth, like you do for it. And it's like,
and it's almost like it's like kind of very similar to the Pavlov experiment, which is basically like they hear a bell, they know it's dinner time.
he is.
They hear a click, they know they get a treat, they know they did good. She's literally treating this little girl like a dog.
I know, like, I'm disturbed. We're not even through half. When we're like at the halfway point, we're about the halfway point. So there's a lot to talk about.
And the guy is like, you can hear dogs in
You can hear it yourself as there's dogs in the back.
So they have to figure out like where those dogs are. But then they also find out that this previous girl was literally forced to act like a dog, even to the point where they put a cone
I'm like
on her.
It's an disturbing individual.
One of those cones that like prevents dogs from scratching when they get fleas or neutered and spayed.
Yeah, I don't have a dog, but Callie has a dog, so
they put a cone on a girl.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. It's like you should be locked up for a long time. Then, I hope everybody knows that you did.
Yes. Then, another video of Haley pops up, and this is where the dog bed comes in because the woman's like in bed, and she shows like a tiny dog bed, and she's like, no, I'm not tired. She's like, get in, or I will get the collar.
But she's not wearing the collar at the moment. But
and it's literally so bad, Velasco can't even look.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And like, because she tries to put the collar on her again, Velasco can't even look. Like, it's that this dude has seen a shit ton of things.
Oh, he has. He said this. That was the line. This was the line.
The limit. And that's coming from him because he was abused as a kid. I think his sister was too.
Involved in a gang. There's a lot of violence.
All the parents in the world, in the SVU world. Yeah, so it's bad. They're like, we need to find this kid. Amanda calls in this tech guy that she has from intelligence, and he's isolating the dog barks.
Mhm.
Because they can literally figure out what kind of dog it is. And
Yeah.
if they know what kind of dog it is, they can find out where the
Who's
dog
selling the dogs?
place is. I also made a note that Silva was wearing this nice maroon color and it looked very good on her.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, they were like, and then they bring in the mom and they're like, were you potentially looking to get a dog? And she was like, no. Why? Because then
Actually, they
they,
say yes. They were
oh,
looking for a dog.
yes. Yeah, she was looking to get a dog. For Haley.
Oh shit! It's 11:50. Oh, sorry, I do have to leave in like a little bit. What? We can
We're
keep
almost
going. This won't take us too long. We're almost done.
so then they get the evidence back, and Curry says it's one of 3 dog breeds: a Greyhound, a Rottweiler, or a Cane Corso, which is one I've never heard of. But
And I
um,
forgot to look up what of course it was.
and so then they go to like all these dog farms that sell these types of
Oh,
dogs.
it's that dog. That's what a cane corso is.
Oh,
Italian Mastiff. That's what they're also called. That's what they were. They're very big. Probably big as we are.
yeah. Of course, the other ones were. Um, So then they're like asking everybody, like, has anybody seen this girl? Like,
They go to these
anybody
different
know?
dog breeders, and they're like, no.
Um, like anybody like how they like live with like a what they're at first like they're asking like if anybody lives with like a woman because they're trying to find a woman. And they ask one
Mhm.
guy, he's like, no, I'm gay. And they're
Yeah,
like,
he's like, I got a boyfriend. And
okay,
they're like, oh,
nice. We're gonna move on.
pink food.
Then they find this couple, and at first I thought it was them, but then they showed um the picture of Haley and they're like, have you seen this girl? And then they bring up the family
They're like, we know them. They were at this
called
dog show with us.
the Carwoods, and
Yeah.
they lived with their daughter Ashlyn, and they said it
Mm.
kind of
They're
looked
like,
like Ashlyn, and they live in Ellenville. So this is when we get to point that they're starting to put together that they might have done this to their own kid.
yeah.
Um, so they go to the Carwoods. They find out these people are very armed. There's like
Yeah,
weapons
they got the
everywhere.
whole, you know.
Um, and my mom was like, "Well, it seems like they didn't even know how to raise kids. They only knew how to raise dogs."
Yeah, it's very disturbing.
Um, then they go and you find the wife and the husband. The wife has shot her husband, and the
They hear a
wife has
gunshot. They have all the people. They have the SWAT. They got everybody here, and they hear a
yeah,
gunshot. So obviously
the
they
wife
go
has
in.
shot the husband, and the wife is standing there with a weapon under her neck.
Yeah,
And Olivia has to like convince her,
be like, put that down, please. It's like, put that
don't,
down.
don't do it, don't do it. She finally puts it down and they arrest them. They then find the room, which is like in this little like shed thing.
Yeah,
It's like a camera and it's decorated like a little girl's room. There's no girls though.
yeah,
Then we get the crime dogs sniffing and digging around, and one of them finds something. And Olivia goes to dig it out,
hmm,
and her in an instant her tone goes from angry to
yeah. Her very serious tone. You know her very. Y'all know her very serious. Her very serious dark tone,
and she sees a comforter, a bed comforter, and
like a
she's
little
like,
girl comforter.
"Oh, she's like, it's a little girl's." It's like, "Oh my god."
Hmm.
Um, so they we got a commercial. We come back. They dig up this little girl's body.
Hmm.
Can't be any more than 7 or 8.
Yeah, it's a little girl.
And you can see Amanda literally trying not to cry.
Yeah.
She's close to tears. Like, she has 2 daughters of her own. This is gonna get
And
to
they're
it.
close to this age. They're kind of close to this
And
age.
I kept thinking of, this is from our story, but I kept thinking of Olivia with Avery in our
Yeah.
story. Because, yeah. So the Emmy was pretty much like,
We
there's
didn't talk much about the Emmy, but she's kind of this cool girl.
yeah,
She's got like a low bud. She's got some piercings. Like she's pretty
yes.
cool. Very edgy. I don't know her
Um,
name is, but she's pretty cool.
I don't have a name, but yes. But also then
She's
they have the Emmys, like there's obvious signs of abuse, like broken bones, etc. So this couple abused and killed their own kid and used her to make this horrible content.
for money. Some people just don't deserve children, and
No,
they're
they
one of
don't.
those.
Yeah. So Amanda's close to crying, and then we get Olivia and Amanda down at the precinct talking to the parents. And they're like, literally don't want to hear anything about the stupid videos. They just want to
Yeah,
be like, the only question I'm interested in is, where is Haley?
exactly. Like, where is she?
Then the husband's like, oh, they said they would both end themselves if they were caught. And then they bring up the daughter, and Nicole was like,
And
well, um, I didn't kill her. I accidentally pushed her. I don't believe that for a second.
I don't either.
Then we get Amanda in this beautiful tan sweater.
Yeah, the sweater game
Then
is strong today.
we get into, apparently the wife is like, yeah, so Dennis is into crazy things because they
Yeah,
were on like a date once and they were with the dogs and she was disciplining the dogs and then she turned and saw him reacting.
yeah. She had to discipline the dog because I think the dog pooped on the floor or something like that.
So yeah, then they started doing it with their daughter. So unfortunately, apparently it did fucking get sexual
Yeah,
with their own kid. Um and then, as if that isn't bad enough, the mom literally goes, we had to replace her. We make money off the site.
like
You
that's all you think about your child
what?
is money, Jewel.
And they're like, okay, so how did you end up with Haley? And they were like, oh, we were driving by and Haley waved at us at the light. So Dennis took that as a sign that it
Yeah,
was okay.
no, we were like, seriously,
What?
you need a better
What?
excuse than that. Like, you need a better excuse than that. Come on.
Then they're talking to the dad again and the husband again. He's like, oh, you said you like being in control? I don't think you're gonna do too well in prison.
No, they won't like you.
Bye. Go
No, they're
away.
gonna know what you did. They don't like that in prison. They don't like people who abuse children. So
Yeah. So
they'll have a terrible.
they don't. Even criminals have a heart sometimes.
And there's a certain line that I guess criminals have an ethical line here of
So
children.
then
No,
they're like,
never.
you need to tell us where Haley is. So they finally get the information and they find Haley in this cold storage.
Yeah,
And I think it's Velasco, Silva,
yeah,
and Rollins. And they open
yeah.
the door and you can see Haley's like
She's
breaking out.
shivering. She's cold.
And then we get Velasco, a very sweet Velasco moment. He gets down on her level and he goes, "Hi, I'm Joe. I'm a police officer. You're safe now."
Mhm.
She immediately falls into his arms crying.
Yeah, she's
And
yeah,
Joe like carefully picks her up and
fixer.
brings her out
Yeah.
of the storage, and it was like, oh, how sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But I find it I find it very interesting that of like the three that were there, like you would think it would be Amanda who would do it because like it's.
Yeah.
But I love that they had Velasco show
Yeah.
his soft side, and that the girl immediately was like, "I trust him." Boom, crying. Um,
Yeah.
the couple was on a $2 million bail.
Yeah, they go to arraignment and they got a $2 million bail. They aren't
Yeah.
getting out anytime soon.
Um, they finally talked to. Oh yeah, no, they $2 million bail, and Crazy goes to talk to them because the lawyer's like, "Oh, we should make a deal," and he's like, he's literally not having it with either of these two
He's like, mm-mm.
because um the the wife goes, before I go anywhere, I need to know if my babies are okay." And Crazy goes, "You're what? You're Rottweilers. That's what you're worried about? Not your husband? Not your murdered daughter?"
Yeah, they're like, Haley was safe. They're like, she was safe, and they're like, she's like safe, but she wasn't
Not
unharmed.
unharmed. And Carisi was
Exactly.
like,
He's not taking it.
and the mom is like, "I need my babies to go to good homes." And then
Because
Carisi's like,
they got I don't know if you guys have even watched, but they have like a lot of like, in this room where before they like the room before like in the house where Haley before they get to the children's room, the little girl's room, they have like cages of puppies like lined up before you get to that room. So obviously you see what the priorities were.
and Carisi's like, "Well, the murder isn't in my jurisdiction. So
That's not
bye."
my job. He's like, I
He's
can't
like,
talk about it. That's not my
"Nope,
choice. So yeah,
bye." But basically it was like, enjoy prison for life, bitch.
I go have fun. Yeah,
Um,
because they have a long sentence, whatever. I forgot what he said, but it's long.
so then they get Olivia and Amanda talking to Katie about Haley. They first say that the subscribers are getting time.
Yeah,
Good.
they deserve it because that's disturbing.
And the parents are getting 25 to life.
Yeah, we won't see them anytime soon.
Um, and then, Katie, of course, is eternally grateful, but is like, how do people do this? Like, she's like,
They're all like,
oh, hold on, no, I'm getting ahead of it. Um, Olivia and Amanda are like, it's gonna take time, but
she's gonna be okay.
you'll be okay. Like Haley will be okay. And then she's like, I'm gonna go back to Haley. And then we get Amanda and Olivia talking to each other. And Olivia goes, how does a parent do this to their own kid? And Amanda goes, you've been working this job longer than I have, and you still don't know the answer.
Yeah, you're
Pretty much like no one's ever gonna know.
no one understands, and no one will ever know.
And then we think that was the end. But no, then we
No,
get this little surprise scene that nobody knew
it's a very
about. It was super
yeah. They kept
freaking
that one.
cute.
They
And
kept it locked in for that one. They
they
said
kept
nobody
it.
knew
And
about
then
this
Olivia, Amanda,
because
and
some
Noah,
of y'all be
Lily,
set
and
stalking, and then we
Jesse
be spoiling stuff. Well,
all
this time we didn't.
all getting pizza together.
Yes.
So cute. And they're all like they all do like this thing where like cheers with the pizza. And then
Yeah, it's very
last
cute.
thing on the camera, last thing the camera shows is Olivia and Amanda smiling at each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and they're all playing rock, paper, scissors too.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's very cute.
freaking cute. There were some people that made a funny comment that was like, I guess Sunny and Nikki didn't get the memo.
Yeah, this is the girl. Well, I guess never mind. So girl didn't know what was there, so never mind. I guess little children, babies, does not get to come to the party.
Oh, I got the picture.
It's very cute.
And
So
this one, I had to point this one out. Way to fucking
yes,
go, casting department. Like,
yeah,
their
little and
cheeks,
they
the cheeks, the
everything.
smiles, like, oh my god, they look so
Yeah,
alike. Also,
yeah,
that's her oldest little girl.
exactly.
And this one, and she's smiling at her,
Yeah,
like,
yes,
oh.
yes.
And then, yeah, it's so cute. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yes, this is everything they needed. And they're smiling at each
Yeah,
other, and it's so
yeah.
sweet.
Like you needed some time with their children after that. But like I'm
Yeah,
going.
you can see them like smiling at each other, smiling at their kids. Like they're
Yeah,
so happy.
yes. Ah, yes.
So that was a good way to end it. That was just
Yeah,
nice.
you needed some
You needed
fresh.
that after
You
this
like because
episode.
that's heavy. There's some heavy stuff going on. You need a little
I give this one.
breather.
I give this one a 4.
Yeah, it was very dark, but other than it being very dark, I think it was told.
Yeah, it was
And
definitely new, but it was also good that we got like the Rollins and
yes,
Amanda and kid moments. So what's tonight?
Aperture. So it is called. I know we're gonna. It is called Aperture. Um, when an assault at gunpoint is witnessed through a neighbor's window, well, we know he has a telescope, but well, I'll get to that in a second. The squad scrambles to locate the victim. They confirm she's safe. A threat to extort the victim's family leads to the shocking suspect.
And they didn't release too many photos, but
Yeah,
did
because
we
the guy is looking through a telescope through and sees the girl in the window across from him, and she's undressed, and there's a person with a gun to her.
yeah.
But so like they're trying to find out what happened.
And then this is where we got like they didn't give us like a lot of like plot based photos, but
Got a
um
lot of
we got a lot of Peter and Mariska.
yeah,
So
we got a lot of them. Yeah, we got a lot of Benson and Carisi apparently. We got a lot
are
of
you
that
pulling
today.
it up or do I need to pull it up?
I have them up on my other screen because sometimes it's helpful for me to remember what things happen if I could see it in my head. I've never watched it. Oh, hold on. I need to put this monitor, put it on the other screen. Oh, because it's on this. Nope, not this screen. It's on the other screen now. Sure. Hello. Stop this one. We were this. I guess we never see like Peter in this lighting, but like the makeup department kind of flopped a little with blending his makeup in
They did?
this
I didn't even
episode.
notice.
They flopped pretty bad. If you like look very intensely at his hairline, they did not blend it up into his hair. Like we're like,
Oh yeah, I can kind of see it. I was just
you
like,
can
oh,
see it. I guess we
that's
also he's never in that direct daylight for real that often, so it's like it's very obvious in this case with the sunlight. You're like, they did not do him justice.
this one, the one at the top left corner
It's
is
very
my favorite.
obvious right here. But it's very obvious in that one that you're like, bro, it's something all who's flopping in their job
But
today.
yes, we love crazy.
Yeah,
Yes, we do.
yes, yes. So we have this is the one I think people thought was the season finale, but it is not. Because I remember seeing the pictures of Mariska walking with the girl. And people thought this was the season finale, but it's not. So we don't know what's happening. We just know it's called Post Rage.
And somebody gets a promotion. That's literally all we
Yeah,
got.
yeah. Yeah. That's all we got. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. My birthday is next Wednesday. That means you have to listen to the episode.
Yay!
That means you have to listen to the episode.
Yes, you do.
But you're gonna get this episode today because we're already late. So you'll get someday next week. We'll try to get that review in, and then yeah. So we hope you enjoyed the episode today. That's all we have to say. I don't think I have anything else to say. You've been writing and working and
I
doing
don't
stuff.
think
And
so. I'm trying to think if there's like any. Oh, Mariska's film for her mom is going to
yes,
be at
yeah,
the Cannes Film Festival, which is like a really
yeah.
big deal.
Next week.
Um,
Yes. So that's exciting for
and
her. I'm very excited to watch. Not to come out on streaming until June, but we're very excited to watch it.
then I think just something that was like Roles hosting an event or
Yeah,
something. Oh, they
yeah,
just hold on.
yeah.
They put out a sneak peek.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I wasn't on my phone for once. So,
I'm gonna watch it. I'll
but
report back.
you never usually watch it. For some reason, you're always like, I don't want to watch it. Then I feel
Yes, but I have the outfit
where,
on, so therefore.
oh, it's 2 minutes long. Oh, I see it, but I know I didn't. Okay. How many people are rich? Because they got to make it. Rich people always doing these crimes. It does seem like we haven't watched the episode, but it seems like the parents are these parents are protecting their son. I don't know who this boy is. Yeah, so now. This is the longest clip for them to post it because most of them they're like 1 minute long. This one's 2 minutes long, so they gave us a lot for it. Get this in our people. Summer break is a very strange time because it's not we don't typically record episodes either. We kind of just write a lot and we're trying to get that. I want to try to get that. Like we like binge wrote like 5 chapters of a fic and just haven't put it out yet because we still have things to add.
All right, it wasn't that like
No, they usually don't have anything like spoiler early. Also, like Belinda looks great in the OC episode. Also, I
it
forgot to.
does. You go, ma'am. Apparently, she was
No,
coming
she's
home from a date.
yeah. She said she was on a Tinder date, but it wasn't good. She's like, I'm kind of glad you called because I didn't want to be there anyway.
Oh, man.
And I didn't want to be there anyway. So it was quite funny that she was like, I don't actually want to be here, but
All right, I think that was it.
yeah. So we
Unless I
will
find anything else.
because we don't have a lot of time. I gotta leave soon. I didn't even need to put something in my belly, so I feel like you need to do it. But we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and show us all the love because this is what we do for literally free. So
Um, we still don't know the Pope yet, but
but the Pope, there is a decision on a
the
Pope,
Pope
but there's no
has
Pope
been
in the
decided.
yeah, they like the white smoke went through the thing, so they were like, "There's a decision," but they haven't introduced them yet. So we'll see what happens later. Not like you will know, but you all can find out who the Pope is on. We have that. Nothing else really. Next week is season finale and my birthday. It's always around my birthday, so it's either I'm sad or happy. So we'll find out what happens. I guess. Actually, I won't be sad because I'm not enjoying my birthday this year, but it'll be
Yes,
very fun.
yes. I cannot wait for your birthday.
So,
But I think that's it. So bye, guys.
yeah.
Thanks for
All right.
listening.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. The button to hang up is like 5 clicks later. Anyway, here it is. Goodbye.